Good morning. Welcome to CATEX-TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is a live broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is Tuesday, February 23rd, 2010. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. It's 4:30 p.m. in London. In Bermuda, it's 12:30 p.m. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CATEX. Overseas, our AOL instant mail address is CATEX-TV. In the U.S., some economic news came out today. American consumer confidence has dropped. Not a surprise. Meanwhile, Wall Street bonuses are up 17%. There's a dichotomy there. I don't know what it is, though. Let's go to our main news. More than 40 people have been arrested in Turkey in connection with an alleged military plot to undermine the government and supposedly trigger a coup. This is according to the country's prime minister. Here's a picture of the main military school outside of Ankara. Former heads of the Air Force, Navy, and other senior officers were among those arrested. According to the Prime Minister this morning, our security forces began a detention process. As of now, more than 40 people have been detained. CNN Turk and NTV news channels say police arrested the former Air Force chief, a former Navy chief, and at least 5 other retired senior officials. They were taken to Istanbul for questioning by the anti-terror police. 2 of the people arrested, the former Air Force and Navy chief, were linked to a purported 2003 plot to discredit the Prime Minister's government, which was a plan revealed in January, just last month. That plan, codenamed Sledgehammer, involved bombing 2 Istanbul mosques and escalating tensions with Greece by forcing Greek jets to down a Turkish plane over the Aegean Sea. The result would have been to show that the government was inept. The Turkish army said that the documents were a war game contingency plan that denied that they represented a coup. Turkey, obviously, and the control over the military is a hot topic right now, as Turkey's membership to join the EU is pending. Prime Minister Erdogan apparently has gone far out of his way to clamp down on the military to satisfy Brussels that the military is in control, and the prospect of regime change via any method other than democratic is not likely in the future. Well, off the coast of the U.S., there's a floating ship with a lot of sick people on board. Here it is. This is the celebrity cruise line ship, Mercury. About 350 people were sick. A number of them are responding well to medicine, however. The cruise line said that 326 of the more than 1,800 passengers on the ship began complaining Sunday of upset stomachs, vomiting, and diarrhea. About 30 of the crew also felt it. The ship left Charleston, South Carolina on February 15th. The cruise line said that the crew is conducting, quote, enhanced cleaning to prevent the spread of the illness. It's not clear what pathogen was involved, but samples were being dropped off in Puerto Rico for testing. The Insurance Insider is reporting that Marsh has entered into an agreement with Berkshire Hathaway that will see Mr. Buffett's company take a 10% line across Marsh's entire London energy portfolio. According to market sources, the Project Blue facility, which is currently going through the regulatory approval process, will effectively operate as a quota share with automatic approval for risks with up to $2.5 billion of aggregate limit. Applying to the whole of the broker's book of business placed through London, the arrangement will include both onshore and offshore risks. The Berkshire Hathaway quota share is believed to write vertically through the programs in the portfolio for both renewal and new business, taking 10% at each layer. Sources suggest that the facility is already in use on a facultative basis. Very interesting. Well, John Coleman is scratching his head. He's amused and bemused. I don't really blame him. His title now, according to the Insurance Day, is that of Chairman-in-Waiting at Omega Insurance Holdings. If I know my friend Richard Banks, that's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek. Mr. Coleman is said to be amused and bemused in equal measures over claims he is to blame for the insurer's ratings being put on a negative watch by AM Best. According to a close aide, Coleman is surprised to have been named by the insurer itself in its response to the AM Best announcement. The insurer's statement said that Coleman had declined a request from Best to discuss plans for the management team and future strategy. Omega suggested that that was the catalyst for AM Best's rating decision that we reported yesterday. However, Coleman's aide told Insurance Day, if you don't work for a company and you're not a member of its board, how can you be expected to have a meeting with a rating agency to discuss that company's plans? It makes no sense. Well, AM Best agreed, and they said that they would have no requirement to talk to somebody not associated with the firm in question. The announcement by the Omega directors is being seen as a further attempt to sway the shareholders prior to the March 12th special general meeting, where it's widely expected that the Invesco-led boardroom coup will be backed. Just last week, Omega sent a circular highlighting its concerns that Invesco may seek to reinstate the former active underwriter of Syndicate 958, John Robinson, in a senior capacity. According to Omega, that would not be welcomed by Lloyd's, although Lloyd's said that they never had any direct problems with Robinson. Coleman's aide believes that Invesco is beginning to tire of Omega's tactics. He went out on a limb a little bit and said 85% of the shareholders want the current directors to leave, but they won't go. Who owns the company? The shareholders. They made their decision. They told the directors to go, but they're not listening. All Mr. Coleman wants to do is get on with the job at hand. Sort of an unusual situation. Meanwhile, word from Northbrook, Illinois, from Allstate, they've announced that they're going to stop providing cover to mobile home operators who live along the South Carolina coast. The decision is going to affect about 2,500 mobile homes who will no longer be able to purchase hazard cover from the U.S. insurer, where the spokesperson explained that it just has become too expensive to provide the policies. They said mobile homes don't tend to be strong enough to survive the hurricanes that can impact the area. No kidding. Those 2,500 homeowners have been told that American Modern Insurance Group may be able to provide them with coverage. No word yet from American Modern. The California Insurance Commissioner is running for governor. His name is Steve Poizner. Here he is. In about 25 minutes, a public hearing is going to be being held in Sacramento as Anthem Blue Cross executives are scheduled to testify about an attempt to boost insurance premiums by up to 39%. The rate hike by California's largest for-profit health insurer would affect about 700,000 individual policyholders in California. The news has also reached Washington. The Obama administration has referred repeatedly to Anthem's rate proposal as it argues for greater federal authority over premiums. The state hearing is the first public examination of the rate proposal, which the insurer announced back in November. On Wednesday, tomorrow, in Congress, the U.S. House of Representatives will question executives from Anthem's parent company, WellPoint of Indianapolis, about its own rate hike. Well, there's a lot going on Capitol Hill. The next story after our break will be Toyota. We'll discuss that in a second after a word from our sponsors.
You may have already seen the demonstration of the CATEX Global Exchange in action. Some of the features of the exchange and our Pivot Point 2 software are especially useful to facultative and excess surplus lines brokers and markets. Here, we see the opening page of the contract workspace, which shows some of the details of a facultative risk as seen by the listing broker. Behind this opening page are screens which provide details of the contract of certificate, details on the parties or markets on the certificate, details of the exposures on the certificate, including aggregate data of the underlying risks, details on each of the insured risks, policy or certificate documents, including document templates, as well as automatic email links. This screen also provides links to details of the layers for brokers, the at-risk markets, premium information, policy accounting statements, the policy claims history, endorsements, and contract documents. The Pivot Point system is the backbone of the exchange platform. Pivot Point provides easy input of data as well as seamless structuring of the data into policy documents, accounting records, and statements, as well as underwriting criteria. The system allows brokers to focus their efforts on where they bring their clients the most value added, determining the appropriate layers and selecting the markets which are appropriate for the risk and layer. In these markets, timing and access to data are especially critical. For example, in a risk involving numerous properties, a broker will likely have a data file listing the properties subject to the risk. The system allows brokers to easily upload data files to the system. The exchange allows brokers to offer the risk and make sure the data are available only to markets authorized by the broker. The exchange software automatically converts the uploaded